Actually, you know what? I think we should start the episode right here.
No, the flow's been broken. We gotta start over.
No, I think this is I think this is a great I think this is a great starting point.
No, I hate this. Start over.
I think of all the openings to all of our podcast episodes, this is my favorite. This feels good. This feels natural.
As long as it's like a really short introduction, like I feel like we should go for a more natural vibe, though.
Hey guys,
the
welcome
same
back
time,
to the Four Nerds podcast. We're we, we changed the name. God damn it. We went back to the original.
Can't even remember the name.
I lost it. Fucking God. Look, here's Craig. Go ahead, restart. The episode is starting now. I'm not leaving anything in. We're cutting it all out. This is the beginning of the episode. Go.
The way you said it makes it sound like it's not going to be the
What?
start of the episode.
Start the episode. We're losing time. Come on. I don't got all day.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to this meeting of the Nerdic Council. I'm your host today, Tristan, and today I'm joined by the boys, Arlo and Julian.
Greetings.
greeting.
All right, so today, Julian has come up with a pretty good idea for our topic of conversation today. He told me about this like 2 weeks ago, and we're talking about it now. So, Julian, tell them about your idea for this episode.
I thought we'd talk about Netflix's animation, like specifically animated series, films that Netflix has produced, and how they've impacted the animation industry as a whole.
All right, for starters, have we all seen Bojack Horseman? Because I know I have. I know Julian has.
I've seen like seasons 1 and 2, but I never like actively kept up with it.
Yeah, me neither. I watched it with my girlfriend, and now it's just kind of a meme between us. But I don't think I finished the show.
I've kind of finished it. Like, I've watched the first few seasons, half of season 4, skipped season 5, then watched all season 6.
Damn. All right.
Wow.
That's a bigger commitment than I made. So we know that all three of us have at least seen like the first 2 seasons. But I don't know if the listeners have. But you know what? Fuck you.
Wow,
Wow,
we mean to the listeners. Not their fault they're
Yeah.
stupid.
What are we talking about with Bojack Horseman?
I'm mainly talking about how it sort of goes against expectations. Like, 'cause those are the kind of shows that I really like. And I feel
Yeah.
like in terms of what BoJack does is that it sort of goes against the idea that just because a cartoon's for adults, it has to be like extremely vulgar.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like something that South Park and the Family Guy did, and it's not really
Family
their
Guy,
fault.
and
Like,
then like, yeah.
I don't hate Family Guy and South Park because I think those are both great shows, and they can definitely tell. They can make meaningful stories and tell good shit without like. And while they are crude, but they can still tell like deep, meaningful stories. But it's like shows
Well,
that
yeah, but
copy
there's, like,
them.
There's
It's
there's
just
like a
like-
lot of shit that you have to like sort through on top. And then also, yes, I think the main issue is all the shows that like stem off from it and try and do the same thing and just aren't as good.
Yeah, they try. They only
Yeah.
do the. They basically only do the crass stuff with none of the charm or the heart behind Family Guy or South Park.
And what BoJack does is that it starts off as another like one of those shows where it's just BoJack is an alcoholic asshole. He does a bunch of asshole shit to his friends. Sorry for the language, but I guess I'm just getting in
he's
the
pretty
mood.
unlikable at first.
Julian, watch your fucking
Yeah.
language. This is a good Christian podcast. How dare you? Watch your goddamn
Yeah, but-
language. I'm gonna have to. Do I have to get the soap to wash your filthy mouth out?
No,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
no, that's considered abuse nowadays. So no.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah,
That is-
Tristan,
that
abuse
is-
isn't funny. If you make another abuse joke, I will bend you over my knee.
The
Fuck,
way you
this
said
is
that
so
was
bad.
so
Yeah,
casual.
That's That's key. I just love how it transitions. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Like, dude, abuse jokes are not funny. If you make another one, I swear I'm gonna bend you over and fucking spank you with a belt.
Oh yeah, back on the topic of Bojack Horseman. It
Yes.
starts out as like that, Bojack being an ass, but after a while, it gets really sad and deep. Like
Yeah.
it goes to show how Bojack's actions have consequences, and a couple seasons later, they sort of show you why Bojack is the way he is. Because in the first few episodes, we get a few glimpses of it going like, yeah, I get it. His parents sucked. But later on, it just goes into much deeper lengths, showing what led Bojack to becoming such a washed up, miserable person.
Yeah, I really like that. I like how it tackles that. Like, it doesn't excuse what he's done, but it gives you an explanation as to why.
Yeah, I mean, like, the humor is pretty smart at times, but it doesn't use that as an excuse to have shallow characters, which some other shows are like tend to do, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like even the more minor characters you think are going to be just one-off jokes get a lot more fleshed out. Like
Yes, I
Sarah
fucking love
Lynn.
that. Yeah. Sarah Lynn as one of them is I think more major than the one I was thinking of, which was the three kids in the trench coat. I love him so
Yeah.
much.
Three kids in it. I like.
He's a pretty minor character, but all of his jokes are just like, today I went to the stock market and did a business. I love it so much.
I like. What's the dog's name? Mr. Peanut Butter.
Mr. Peanut Butter and how he seems like a hotshot, but he ends up being like a total dick.
Yeah, he like how he's portrayed in like the first season is he's like this like cool laid back guy who doesn't care, but then like later you kind of see, this guy's kind of an asshole.
And he's super like insecure and everything. I should probably
Yeah,
put
he's
like a
like,
notice on this
Yeah.
episode for spoilers for Bojack Horseman, huh?
oh yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
he's,
it's
like,
been
very
out for kind of a while. It's a pretty popular show.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
most people
but there's
clicking on
still
this have
that
probably
one
already
person
seen
who
this.
hasn't seen it.
Yeah, but I bet you most of the people on watching this are probably people who've already seen it, and then they're gonna laugh at us and say, "Well, you guys don't know anything about the show. Why are you even talking about it? Why you guys pause after like every fucking thing I say?"
Because I'm trying to think of some. I'm trying to think of
After
something really
everything
witty
I-
to say.
After everything I say, you pause
Yeah,
for
it's
like
not like
10
everything we
seconds.
say comes off on the top of our heads.
Because so I always have this like, this is why I'm not funny a lot of the time. Is I'll start I'll start saying a joke before I come up with the punchline, and the setup is like has a lot of potential, but I don't know where to go with it because I'm not a comedian and I don't do this often. And so
Dude,
I have to
people
like
say
pause and just be like, no, that's not gonna be funny if I say it. That's just gonna come across as crude and like not funny at all. And then
Yeah,
while I'm thinking about it, you're like, guys, say something.
I have a friend, one of my friends, she said I should be a comedian, and I'm like, really? Do you think I'm that? I don't think I'm personally that funny. I think I'm more just an asshole who gets lucky sometimes than I'm actually funny. People say that
You
I've
can
heard
be
a lot
funny
of
when you want to.
I think I'm a bigger asshole than you are.
no, you're not. You're way too nice. You like apologize for everything. You say way more encouraging things than I do. Like I see you in the group chat all the time, and you always say like such nice, kind shit. I never say
Shut the
anything.
fuck up.
All I do in the group chat is just like post memes and say stupid and make stupid jokes. I don't.
You're
do
talking about the
anything
Boost
like that.
Cruise, right?
No, I'm talking about the other group chat. Yes, I'm talking about what other group chat are we in together? I don't think we are in any other group chat.
I don't know. I'm in my school. I have a lot of like Discord servers with like different groups of friends. I have. Oh, you're not. If you were in the Minecraft realm, you would be in our Discord server, and we have an Instagram group for that. Oh, what if one of our new Patreon, uh, benefits was being able to join the Minecraft realm on Java.
Or we could just have like our own Discord.
Yeah, that would be cool. It could be like
But-
like we could have a Discord
we
server
need-
and then have channels that are Patreon only, which is like a free
We
way to
need,
like
like-
benefit people.
But we need patrons first.
That is not necessarily true. We could have cardboard cutout people and like tape microphones to them.
Just have, like,
Yeah.
I mean, Among
just,
Us would be
like-
pretty dry because like everyone would look AFK, but I mean, it could work.
I don't know. I just imagined like you say it like I used to do D&D club, so I just imagine like me in D&D club, but it's just me, and then there's just fucking like cardboard cutout people, and it's just like, yeah, it's like, all right, guys. So, as you enter the dark forest, a group of goblins, all armed with scimitars, jump out of the bushes at you. What do you do? And they're just like sitting there.
The camera like pans between each one and like gives each one like ample time to say stuff, even though they're just sitting there and they're acting
Yeah,
as
I
if it's
just,
like
like-
real people. Wow,
just,
that
like-
is
And one of them
insightful,
just
Jeremiah.
falls over.
That's yeah, one of
just
them.
go,
One
like-
of them like folds over because it's like flimsy cardboard, and they're not even like accurate cutouts. They've got like arms sticking out horizontally, like out of their sides.
Like a T pose.
Yeah,
I just,
they're all
like,
just
get up
like.
It's like, all right, Reggie, it's your turn. And I just like, what do you do? And he's just like sitting there. All right, you want to make an attack roll? Okay. And I get up and I like roll the d20. It's like, oh, nice. A 17. All right, that definitely hits. Now roll damage. And I just like roll the dice. It's like, whoa, max damage. Awesome.
He slowly slides out of his seat, and then you have to like tape him back
Don't
onto
fall
it, just like
asleep on
whoa.
me. Now we've still got an hour left.
Oh god. And then at the window, it's like your parents are like crying, and the doctor is comforting.
Crying with the doctor consoling them. Then it pans out even further and it shows like it's some fucking insane asylum.
On this episode of the Nerdic Council, Tristan develops intense, severe schizophrenia. Craig is your only friend, and he doesn't even say anything.
We just revealed that they're like the Nerdic Council, like you and Julian don't even exist. It's just me in the insane asylum with like a cardboard box, like as the computer, and I'm just like talking into it.
Well, come to think of it, I could be dead and you wouldn't know, because we haven't seen each other in quite a long time in person.
But then how are you talking to me?
Just the magic of editing is really something that you can that you can really immerse yourself in. There's a lot you can do with a microphone and Filmora Pro. All right, I've picked up a few handy tricks. Do you believe in the supernatural, like the paranormal?
Not really. I haven't really experienced
Kind of.
anything like spooky, like supernatural or anything. I have had a sleep paralysis before when I was like 8.
I've only had it once
Damn.
before, but I didn't hallucinate. It was more like I was imagining that like a monster was there, and so I was too scared to like move my body and see and look if there was one, but I didn't actually like think that I saw one.
Oh no, I saw like sleep paralysis, my sleep paralysis demon.
That's terrifying. Wait, tell me about it.
Okay. So I was like 8. I was like 8 or 9 or something like that. And I was sleeping. And then like one night I had like the sleep paralysis where it's like you can see your room, but you can't move, you know. It's that's scary. It's scary.
Right.
And then like from the shadow, like so like my room, it's like a big it's kind of like a big square. And like at the one end there's my bed, and at the other end there's like a window where I have this old like it's like this old kind of piano like thing. It's like an old like portable piano, and like sitting on that.
You mean a keyboard?
No. It's like I don't really know how to describe it. It's like a.
Is it one of those weird pianos that you have to blow into the tube and it's like wah 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 wah?
No. It's like I guess it's like a. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like think of like a portable piano, like an electric piano, not a keyboard.
Keyboard.
But like
An
it's not a
electric keyboard.
No, it's not an electric keyboard. It's like a.
That's what it's
I
called,
guess,
though. It's like it has multiple modes, and you can click the button. Whatever. To keep telling the
but
story.
it doesn't have it. Anyway,
I will die
so
on that
there
hill.
was, like, whatever. I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, so like the key instrument, there was a. It was almost like a. I don't know. I honestly don't know how to describe it. It's like a, kind of like a big like, lanky werewolf creature.
Okay. Did it look more humanoid or more like monster-like?
Well, it had like a humanoid body, but like a wolf head, like a hound wolf-like head.
An 8-year-old you thought of this?
Yes, I was like 8 or 9.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really good. Anyway, so yeah, and then long story short, it came up to me, and it like bit me on the arm, and then like disappeared, and I woke up. I want to talk about.
We kind of got off the we kind of got off the topic of like Netflix.
Yeah, let's go back to Netflix. So, one show I want to talk about that we've mentioned before on the channel, but I don't think we've ever like fully dedicated a moment to talk about it is like Castlevania. That is probably like my favorite Netflix animated show. If I had to pick one, it would be Castlevania.
Yeah, Castlevania sort of does the same thing as Bojack, like on terms of tone, but more like the idea that being for adults doesn't mean you have to be very vulgar. Like, I mean, Castlevania is a little bit vulgar, but more dedicated to like action and hardcore violence.
Yeah, it's more like bloody and gory than like vulgar. There's still like vulgar stuff in it, but it's nothing like that bad. There is like a sex scene in season 3 though.
Yeah, it's weird. Like they keep coming back to Trevor and Sypha fighting these monsters, and then just Alucard having a 3-way.
Oh yeah, I mean that wasn't the one I forgot about that one. I forgot there was 2. I haven't watched it in a while, but I forgot there was 2.
What do you like most about Castlevania in that like it does something different from like other adult TV shows?
I like it in that it feels more like sort of does the same thing that anime does, where it's more dedicated to having sort of this sort of realistic style to it in terms of like the character designs and just the brutality of it all.
Like the uniqueness between all the different characters and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And all the
It sounds like
design.
Yeah. It sounds like you really enjoy like the it seems like the team behind it is like genuinely passionate about making something like engaging and new and original, and they're really like flexing their creative skills.
Yeah, what I like about it is that they take material from the game, like they take the lore and kind of the basis of the games, but they make their own thing with it. Like I think the first season is based on a game, but I think after like season 1, like 2 and 3 are like basically all their own.
I mean, I think there's a little bit of the game's elements in seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, there is, but it's like season 1, like the majority of the story of season 1 is like pretty much ripped from like the lore of one of the games. I can't remember which one. I think it's one of the older ones, but it kind of takes elements from like, I think it takes elements from multiple. Like it takes elements from like the first few, like 1 and 2, and like 1, 2, and 3, and also some from like Symphony of the Night. But then it also adds in its own stuff. But then like 2 and 3 are basically like they just kind of take what they did with season 1 and keep going with that.
Okay, so that was unironically me clearing my throat. That wasn't even a joke.
Anyways, guys, so
what
was that?
That was like my Minecraft villager throat clear. Like her.
Huh.
Her.
Huh.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
as someone I'm gonna wait for you guys to stop herming
I'm
so I
done.
can Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
You got it all out?
Yeah, I got it all out.
Alright, Julian, you done?
Yeah.
Alright, so
Huh. Sorry, there's one more. Terribly sorry. Sorry.
I was
Sorry,
waiting
there's
for
one.
it.
There's one last straggler. I'm sorry. All right, keep going. I swear this time I'm done.
It's my nervous tick. Not to make fun of people with nervous ticks, but
You can keep going.
as someone as someone who hasn't ever seen the show but like has played I've only ever played I think the first like 45 minutes of one of the original Xbox 360 Castlevania games where it's like 2D like linear side scroller with like mild puzzles and you just have like a whip and an axe. How does that compare to like the show? Like, is the story just based off like the lore, or is there like a story in the game that I was missing? Because
Well,
I
like
didn't play a whole lot.
the early side scroller, there isn't much lore except at like the beginning and the end with like a text scroll.
Yeah.
But like there is lore in like the game manuals and like later in the series, which they take from those games and then make into their own and then use it for the first season and as the basis for the show.
That makes sense.
We need to do like a teleparty because I got my Google updated finally. So we should do that. We should like get together and watch season 1 because season 1.
Oh, so you're able to use teleparty now.
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah, I
cool.
tried.
It's
I
about
tried using.
time. I'm excited then.
Well, I tried using Netflix on Google, and before it would just say like, your browser is not up to date enough to use Netflix. So, but
That's
now
so weird.
But then I tried it a while ago again, and it would let me use it. So
Okay, so it like
hopefully
auto
it should
updated then.
it did something. I don't know what it did, but it works now. I think. Let me check really quick. I'm gonna try and see if I can get
It did something.
It did some. I don't computers. It did a thing, and now Netflix works. That's all I know.
I don't know how they work. I'm not a computer.
But yeah, definitely watch. I would say, watch at least season 1 and see what you think. I think you would probably like it.
All right. Let's see. Have you seen what's it called? Blue Exorcist?
Heard of it.
That's
I
what
have
it's called,
not.
right? Blue Exorcist. Or is it like Azure Exorcist? Yeah, it's Blue Exorcist. And it's like the first
Azure Exorcist.
Azure Azul.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you haven't seen the first few episodes, then I guess there's not really much point in like there's not really like any point in going into what happens in them, but it's really interesting. It's about this this kid who his dad turns out to have like to not be his real dad, and he's actually like the son of Satan. And so Satan comes and kills his adoptive father. And he's got a brother, but his brother is completely normal. And then he has to learn with this like special sword that his adoptive dad gave him. He has to learn to like use his powers to like kill Satan.
Huh.
But it's
So
not like
basically like
yeah.
a custody battle with
with the Lord of Demons. And then there's also a bunch of like different
I would actually like to see that show. Just like you know they have those court shows on TV like Judge Judy. I would love to see one where it's just like the anime version, but it's like
it's Dr. Phil, but it's it's You Are Not the Father, but with Satan as one
Dr.
of the
Phil
contestants.
Dr. Phil doesn't do You Are Not the Father. That's
It's different. I know they're different shows. I was just making
like
a joke. I was just being
Jerry
funny. I was just
Springer.
making a joke.
Jerry Springer.
Honestly, I hate those shows. It's seriously like Jerry Springer. It's seriously like a middle school lunchroom. Like whenever they say anything, it's like Melissa, did you cheat on Roger? And she's like, I did. And the whole crowd is like, ooh.
Yeah, it's very
It's like,
informal. It's like, guys,
what are
shut up.
you?
Let
Yeah.
them film the
It's like,
show.
Yeah, and then it's just, but the
Like,
best part of
God,
those
how
shows,
immature
honestly,
are you?
I don't like those shows, but I do love to see the compilations of like when they say like you are or you aren't the father. Those are fucking hilarious.
Yeah, like
where
the
they
YouTube.
just like
Yeah.
where they just like lose their shit. Those are
Did you see the
like,
one
they're
where it
just-
was like, you are not the father or whatever, or you are the father, and the woman gets up and the camera follows her crying off stage,
Yeah,
and
I
she
saw
like,
that.
yeah, and then she's like hugging her mom and everything backstage, and the cameras are still filming her.
Dude,
Or was
you
that
know
a different
how
Yeah, that's
show?
awkward? You know how awkward
That's
that must
just
be to be
awful.
the camera guy just like sitting there having to record people crying like like you know
I'm sure
on like
he's
say
part of the audience.
yeah, imagine on shows like on like Survivor where they're just like, oh, it's
I
like
love Survivor.
this experience has been so hard to deal with it, and the camera guy just has to like sit there recording her, just like
He's filming these people who just have to eat rice once a day for like 40 days, and he's just sitting back there with like a cheeseburger, just like,
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta get your legs up in that survival challenge, otherwise you're gonna fall
Like
behind.
he's just taunting them.
they're just like all there's just like this camera crew just like sitting around a table eating like a Papa John's pizza while these guys are like half starved and like running obstacle courses. Like, come on, guys, pick up the pace. Almost there.
The new season of Survivor, where the cameraman occasionally accidentally hits the front-facing camera button, and you see him clumsily try and reverse it back. But by the time he gets it back front-facing, the Survivor's reward challenges have already finished.
That sounds like if you got Chris Chan to be the cameraman for a Survivor
What is
episode.
with you and Chris Chan, dude? Every
Because
single
Chris Chan
episode.
is
Just
because
fun
Chris
to
Chan
talk
is
about.
fucking because Chris Chan is hilarious. That's why.
I had never heard of that guy before we started doing this podcast. This is my
You
first
gotta
time.
you gotta look him up.
Well, you're
dude. Like,
welcome.
you're welcome. It's a beautiful rabbit hole you can never escape from. But I guarantee for the first half you'll be laughing, and then the second half you'll be like broken
Crying.
inside.
Sobbing.
Not really crying,
Wailing.
just more like just feel like a sheer amount of disappointment.
It's
Like,
one of those
you basic-
memes where it's one of those memes where it's a screenshot of like your dad's text popping up on the top of the phone, and it's like, why are you crying so damn loud? And then the rest of the screen is taken up by the YouTube video of Chris Chan's
Honestly-
fake apology.
I am here and y'all are there. I just imagine him as the cameraman. He just like turns to himself. He's like, "Well, hey there. I am Kristen Weston Chandler. I'm here and y'all are there." Just like, hey Chris, we need you to get those shots of the contestants, okay? I'm working on it. Let's wrap
Getting
this
back
up with
to
like
the
one last
main
show.
point, I was thinking I'd mostly talk about how what makes Netflix's animation great and not so great. Like what makes it great is just the variety of it all. Like these are
Yeah,
the kind
that's
of
true.
shows that wouldn't last on cable TV. Like
No,
shows like Bojack Horseman would probably be cut short because no one's going to be able to catch up with like an episodic series. I mean, a story-driven series.
yeah, that's true. I mean, no one really like watches. I don't think a lot of people like to watch series one at a time anymore because they're so used to watching like a whole season at a time. Because like they watch them on streaming services, where most of the time they'll like release a show. Like they won't release like one episode at a time. They'll release like a whole season at once.
Okay, hold on. Have you guys heard about Netflix's like their unwillingness to budge from releasing whole seasons at a time to encourage like unhealthy binging in America in terms of like anime and like, have you heard about this? Okay. So
No, I haven't heard of this.
if you use a VPN to watch Netflix in like Japan, then or like somewhere else outside of America, often you will get episodes for seasons that are being made and being released before they come out in America. Because in America, Netflix, I might have to
In
revisit some of
America.
these facts. So don't take this with like more than like a grain of salt. But I heard, I watched a video about Netflix only releasing episodes for like animes and stuff in America whole seasons at a time so that the viewers could like binge all of it, but at the same time that they know a season is out and they know that people on in other parts of the world are watching the show, it's not out for them yet. And so you're getting like spoilers for all these shows online and like memes being made about every episode as they're released weekly. And Netflix has all the episodes just sitting there. This is one of the reasons I hate them so much as a company, but they'll just like refuse to release all of them until they're all there as a complete season, and then they show them to you after everyone else in other parts of the world have already been seeing them coming out weekly.
Yeah, that's what happened with shows like Beastars, where
Yeah.
where unless you have a VPN, you're just going to have to pirate them if you want to like watch it on time instead of having to wait a few months.
Yeah, I mean, when I watch I used to try to watch anime on like Verve and Crunchyroll. God, it is like at least with the free versions, it is like fucking impossible because the player is terrible for me at least. It won't sometimes it won't play episodes at all, and it will it will start a commercial in like the middle of a scene. Like it won't even wait for the scene to finish or for the dialogue.
Oh, I
to
hate
finish.
that.
They'll be like talking, and then just like in the middle of the dialogue, fucking ad. And then like for some reason they'd play the same ad. Like I was watching an episode of like Dr. Stone on my computer, and it played the same exact ad 7 times before the episode started again. I'm not joking. It's ridiculous.
Wait, so you got 7, I mean, disregarding the fact that it chose that ad out of all the ones it could have given you 7 times, it chose to give you 7 different ads before continuing?
Now it's 7 different ads. The same 7 ads.
Right. Well,
in a row. It would play an ad and then start loading and then play another ad and then repeat until it finally started the episode again. But then I found this other site called, I think it's like Katsu, and it's way better because like there's no ads on it except like one at the beginning, and like I can actually watch the episode without it freezing all the time, which is great. I don't think
That's
it's
awesome.
like it's not like totally legal, but I would rather do that than have to sit through Crunchyroll's crap.
It's not, I guess it breaks a federal law or whatever.
Yeah, I guess it's technically a crime and against human basic rights, but I don't want to, they played 7 ads in a row, guys. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to remember if it was freaking, I don't think it was Amazon Prime. I think it was Hulu. My dad just started paying for a new video streaming service, on our Xbox, and it's sorted. I'm pretty sure it's Hulu. It's sorted all of, wait, hold on. It's not Hulu. It's freaking. It's the video streaming service. I'll come back to this with like 3 different versions. HBO. It's HBO Go, I think, or like HBO, like Deluxe or whatever.
HBO Max.
HBO Max. He finally got HBO Max because we were dealing with
Yeah.
HBO Now, which I don't know why they're not all the same thing. It's so confusing. And they like rebranded but used like the same names and like switched them around a while ago. Anyway. Apparently HBO Max, which I never use, my dad just started paying for, has like sorted categories of like streaming services, so you can watch stuff. This is why I brought it up. You can watch most of what Crunchyroll offers on as long as it's on HBO Max, like for free, and you're just paying for HBO Max. But there's also Adult Swim, like there's a section for just Adult Swim content with like Joe Pera Talks You to Sleep and
Nice.
Rick and Morty and like all the classic shows. and then some other ones you probably haven't heard of. There's like Samurai Jack on there, which is really great. That's how I started
Bro,
watching it.
Samurai Jack. Yes. I love Samurai Jack.
Yeah, very stylized, very pretty.
Very good.
Yeah, HBO Max might be your go-to if your dad or like one of your guardians is looking to invest a little
What
bit.
if my parental figures?
Your parental units.
Yes.
If my incubation chambers.
What the fuck, Julian?
What does that mean?
What? It's your parents, your incubation unit.
All right, we gotta end
Moving
the
on.
episode right here. I'm blaming Julian
Yeah.
for this. If you wanted
Yeah.
more content,
No, there's
pin it
still
on
one
Julian.
more thing I
He's-
wanted to talk
If you-
about.
save
If you
it. All right.
If you unsubscribe because of that, I wouldn't blame you. Honestly.
Honestly, I don't even know why you're still listening. If you got to this point in the episode, I am ashamed of you. I don't know why you listened this long.
If you've sat through this entire episode, you deserve the belt.
Oh, fuck.
Wait, can I
Not
please-
again with the no. Shut up, Julian. Go back to your corner.
Back to the quarter.
I just want to talk about one more thing. I
Okay,
promise. I
okay,
won't
fine.
make
Okay,
it
fine.
as
No, go for
Julian,
it. Tristan was just
Julian.
joking. Let him talk.
the belt.
okay. So
It's
one
not
thing
funny
I
anymore.
want to talk about
Why
is
am I
that
still laughing?
while this is a problem with a lot of streaming services, but I feel like Netflix does this problem the most. Like, while I love how willing they are to greenlight various different shows like that turn out really well. At the same time, it seems like they greenlight anything they're given, like especially with animation, because like you
They totally
you got
do.
shows like Bojack Horseman, and a few years later, you get shows like fucking Paradise PD. Like
Paradise PD
Who
is
would wanna-
literal shit. It's so bad. It's not funny
Dude,
at all.
if you've seen Brickleberry,
Yeah.
it's literally just Brickleberry, but instead of park rangers, they're cops. That's it. That's the only difference.
I watched the first episode, and all I can remember is that the main character shoots his dad in the balls, and this guy sings a song about how he ate his toes or something.
The only episode I liked was the D&D episode, and that's because it had D&D in it. That was
Any
it.
show with a D&D episode is automatically brought up just a few marks. But if the rest of it is shit, it's still like C tier.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd give that show like E tier.
We should do
Well,
a
like-
TV show tier list sorted by genre next episode. That should be our thing.
Yeah. We should do like animated
Yeah.
TV show tier list. If anyone
Yeah.
has a good one for us to do, then link it in the description or link it in the comments.
Like, it's weird how they keep doing this even after some of these shows turn out really bad. Like I remember seeing a trailer for this thing called Hoops, which just has
I
this
heard
really
about that show.
bland-looking Rick and Morty style.
Well, the Rick
I've
and
heard
Morty
of it.
style isn't bland, but only because they use it in such creative ways.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, the art style just screams we want to look like Rick and Morty, but the end result is just sort of a mediocre thing.
That makes sense.
When you said about like how they'll greenlight anything, that does remind me. There's like a really famous South Park joke where they tried to get their like own Marvel like cinematic universe on Netflix, and they called Netflix, and the guy answers, he's like, "Netflix, you're greenlit. How can I help you today?"
I love that.
Now,
It's
Rick and
so
Morty
true,
did a
though.
joke like that too.
Because it's obvious they'll just put anything on their platform, and I guess that is kind of a good thing because you don't really have to worry about your pilot getting rejected, but also the fact that you'll get like maybe you'll get like a good animated show, and then for every good animated show they make, there's probably like 10 crap shows that only get like one season.
Yeah, honestly, my least favorite part about Netflix is that it doesn't show you the like tomato meter, like what the general consensus of like liking shows is. It only shows you a percentage based on how close that show or that movie is to other stuff that you've watched on
Yeah,
Netflix.
They do
So
have
it's like if you've only been watching shit, then like a really shitty movie might be rated like 97% match to like what you've been watching. So it's like you'll like this because you like shitty stuff. And it's like, well,
They-
can you just please tell like all it like it's on Google, so I'm gonna look it up if you don't show it to me. Just save me like a few seconds and put the tomato meter on your stupid movies. Because it's always like
They
below
do have
40%.
yeah, they do have stars, I think, on Netflix, or they either used to or they still do.
They
But they had
used to.
stars.
Or yeah, I don't see that on
Like-
my phone or on the computer
like-
anymore.
I saw that at my grandma's setup for Netflix. Like she has it at her house, and it has stars. And I would like scroll through, and I swear to God, like they'd have a section for like all the Netflix originals. So you'd see like Castlevania, The Crown, whatever.
Yeah.
And every one of those shows had a 5 stars. So I think they rigged that system because every single one of those shows had 5 stars. And I checked, I scrolled through every single one of those. They all had 5 stars on them, except maybe like one that had like 4.
I don't know, maybe. I mean the Netflix originals tend to be a bit better than like the stuff that Netflix just like buys. Like indie movies or like their horror movie section is absolute garbage. There's almost
Yeah.
nothing good on there. It's so hard to find stuff. Even using Google, it's like, here are some movies that we hated on the Netflix horror section. And it's like, can you show me the good ones, please? And Google's just like, no, because there are none.
Yeah, Netflix. Love how experimental it is. Like, love stuff like Love, Death, and Robots and Midnight Gospel. Well, those are like
Love,
the
Death, and Robots.
best if-
Yeah, actually, both of those shows I really loved. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. I was worried you guys wouldn't know what those are.
I haven't watched either of those, but I know what you're talking about.
Tristan, I think you would like both of them. Like a whole lot.
Yeah. Midnight Gospel was made by the dude who made Adventure Time, right?
I think
Yeah.
so. It's a very similar style.
Is it? Because I looked at it and it was like, this, to me, it doesn't really look like Adventure Time. I never would
looks
have
a
guessed it
lot
was
like
made by the
Adventure
same
Time.
dude.
No, you
Yeah.
will see it as soon as you start watching. It's the animation is very similar. It feels a little more like sleek and like better defined than early Adventure Time, but I think there's good reason for that. And then also just I like how it's like a visual podcast, like you listen to it and it's like a real podcast, like real people talking about real stuff, but they animated it and made it like look fantastical.
All right. Well, I think this is a good place to leave the episode for today. I hope you guys watching at home enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to, if you like this episode, you can always like and hit the subscribe button. And if
Donate
you really
to our
liked it,
Patreon. Do it.
give shekels.
If you don't donate to the Patreon, you know what we're gonna do? I think you know what we're gonna do. I don't think I even have to say it again. I think you know exactly what we're gonna. I think it's already in your head. I think
I'll have to. I'll have to grab the article of clothing strapped around my waist. All right. But if any
Kristen's
of
gonna
you
get
guys...
you with the belt.
Oh, I will. Don't worry. I will. If you guys like this episode, like and subscribe. If you really liked it, consider joining our Patreon. And if you have something to say to us, if you want to say that we did a good job, well then you're a fucking liar and you get the belt. But if you want to call us dumbasses who don't know what we're talking about, then please leave it in
And
the
you're
comments.
welcome. Leave a comment. Please do.
Yes. And I call this meeting adjourned. We'll see y'all next
Bye-bye.
time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.